Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about this drone, this particular frame, which is Dalrc XR220, and here you can see the XR215. I will talk a little bit about this frame and I'll tell you what is my experience of having these two frames. So first of all, this frame is X frame, traditional X frame, which is a good thing on one hand because all the weight is well centered and balanced. If you were to get this frame, you'll find the following items in the box. You'll find the main frame, then this supportive gear, 4 pieces, which supposed to make this frame stronger. You'll find the strap, and this strap is not the original one. I'll tell you in a minute why. You'll find the circuit board and all these bits here. Of course, you'll not get the flight controller and the camera, video transmitter and receiver. You'll find as well motor protective gear. So in regards to the strap comes, originally the strap comes, this is the original strap which comes in the box. I took this frame for a flight, and I found that after 3rd or 4th flight that strap was cut into the half, and the main reason probably that this bit here is sharp. So that strap apparently doesn't handle very well, so I just added my one of these old straps here, which works, which does the job. If we turn around and we have a look here, you'll find that I added some padding here, and the main reason is that there is no padding in the box, and you have to think about your own padding to protect your battery. One more thing is not here, and I'll be probably use some piece of wood just to cut piece of the plate of the wood, and I'll add to the bottom here, so hopefully it will protect the battery, because when I'm landing the drone, normally it hits, the first hit is taken by the battery, and this way bit by bit you'll destroy a battery. So this is the disadvantage of X frame probably in general. In regards of this motor protective gear, is exactly same as here, and it comes with a landing gear. So if you have a look here, I did cut away because I found it useless, because if you add the battery, it sits on the battery. So I thought it was pretty strange that the guys haven't thought about such a simple thing, right? Which is not a big problem again. In regards to the circuit board, it works pretty well. I'm pretty happy with this circuit board, but there is no OSD or the buzzer on this this circuit board. When XR215, the circuit board here has inbuilt OSD and the buzzer, which is a very big advantage. If you have a look here at this bit here, the tubes are pretty short, which makes this frame stronger. However, it is a pretty fiddly work of wiring here, of soldering here. So if you are the beginner and you are not so good with the soldering, I would suggest you to go for this frame. Why? Because the circuit board has plugs, so it's most of time is plug and play, which is a good thing. It's very easy to plug all the components, and here you have to solder each bit, which takes some time, and yeah, it's pretty fiddly. If you have a look at this bit here, at this plate, you'll find here that it has inbuilt LED lights, and there are, I think, 5 or 6 colors available, so you can choose any color you like. And obviously the wires, you can solder the wires to the flight control, and when your battery voltage is low, the lights will blink. So that's a good thing about this plate here. And if you have a look here at this bit where you have to fit your FPV camera and receiver and transmitter, video transmitter, This bit here again is very fiddly. Why? Because the space is very limited. So if you have traditional traditional receiver, RC receiver, the bigger one, there is no way to fit it inside. You have to put it on top, which means you cannot use the HD camera. So it was pretty fiddly actually to put all the bits here, and I had to drill a new holes and just above the original hole because there is a tube. It is a black tube. I think you can see it. There is a black tube, yeah. And I had to move this tube little bit sort of higher because I wanted to squeeze my video transmitter here, which was eventually was I had success, so it is here, but again it was an additional work I had to do. If we have a look on top of this frame here, you'll find that there is sort of space for the strap, which probably you can strap the Mobius camera or Mobius like Runcam camera, but I don't have any ways to strap the GoPro style cameras. So that's another disadvantage of this frame. Adding the GoPro camera would be probably very difficult. The size of this frame is 220 millimeters from motor to motor, and if we have a look at the main plate comes to 4 millimeters, and the rest components are coming to 2 millimeters. Looks like 2 millimeters. Yeah, 2 millimeters, exactly same. So this frame is pretty strong and rigid. And another thing to check here and to let you know is the weight. So if we put this here, we'll find that more or less it comes to 311 grams without the propeller's HD camera and the battery, which is pretty good result. And if we were to put, for example, the propeller, this is the three it does not show the right, a 3-wing propeller, same Dalrc company. Okay, it comes to 5 grams. Well, sort of 5, sometimes I get 5.5, so let's say another 23 grams, which will come roughly to about 334 grams, which is much lighter than XR215. However, you should remember this circuit board here has a buzzer and inbuilt OSD. This frame is lighter, and flying it, I found that my flying time expands, and I have it feels like it has more power because of its weight. However, if I were to compare these two frames and you would ask me which frame I would go, I would probably go now for this frame, and the main reason is that well, adding all parts is way much easier. There are plugs, so I can just plug all the wires to the circuit board. It has OSD and inbuilt buzzer. And another thing is that while flying these two frames, I found that the experience is a little bit different. That this frame, X frame, is way much more flexible, especially while doing these sharp U-turns, which makes to control this frame, this sort of traditional X-frame shape drone, more difficult when this one is more rigid. Not so flexible, but on the other hand, to control it is a little bit more easier. So if you are the beginner and you never built a racing drone, you want to get into the racing drones, I would suggest you to go for this shape sort of drone. You can get Dalrc, that's a pretty good frame. because flying this drone is more rigid. It's easier to control it. So if you do have any questions, please do ask, and thank you very much, and I wish you to enjoy your flying. Happy and safe flying.